Hey everyone, it's me Barb, and I am here today to show you how to create your ultimate storage room for Disney Dreamlight Valley. Now, if you're already playing this game, I'm sure you know about the storage situation, or if you're looking for this video, you're probably trying to solve your storage situation. So as you're well aware, we have this chest that comes with our house, and we can upgrade the number of rows. And then you have your standard chest as well. And you also get the Scrooge reward safe from his quest. If you have it picked up, basically not placed, you can then go to Scrooge and buy these safes as well. I believe they're 16,000 gold each. So for your storage room, you don't have to have these safes, but I do think it is a nice touch because I kind of wanted to do a bank-inspired, Gringotts-inspired, decked-out storage area. Now, once you have your safes, you can place them anywhere. So I have a storage chest placed behind each of my Goofy stalls in each of the biomes for anything I need to quickly place. And I also used to have a storage area outside of my house in the yard. Now, I wanted to consolidate because basically that storage area was getting bigger and bigger and just taking over my yard, so I made a dedicated room. Now, the most important thing if you're going to make a dedicated room is getting some sort of table or counter to stick behind your storage safe or your storage chest, because otherwise you're not going to know where anything is. Now, once you get your counters and your safes or your storage chests, choose a room. And what I recommend is figuring out your layout before you start placing anything. Now, I went with this layout because it lets me walk right in. I can go left or right pretty easily. And it lets me have a crafting table up front, and also lets me have a cooking stove area and my original house chest. So basically what I did is I set down all of these counters along the back row. I set the first row of safes, and I figured out that I need 2 of the little blocks width to be able to walk through comfortably. And then I set another row of counters, safes, space, and repeat until I got up here. Now, I do have a few tips for when you are organizing your storage room that I find rather helpful after spending a couple hours trying to get this organized. When you're organizing your gems, I highly recommend putting your shiny gems in one chest. Just go ahead and choose whichever ones you think are prettiest of your shiny gems and set them on top of the table that is behind that safe or chest. Because these shiny gems are larger when placed than the non-shiny gems. So then go ahead and do the same for the non-shiny gems. Give them their own chest, and that'll give you extra room for future stacks if you want to store beyond the 50 per stack that you can per gem. And then I recommend doing another chest that has your crystals and your shards. Now, the only downside to a shards chest area is you cannot place the shards on top of a table. So I just stuck one of the crystals here because I know I'm going to keep my crystals and shards together. Basically, you just want to be able to remember where things are. Now, when you get to your ore, ingots, stones, things like that, I recommend having your iron ore, gold ore, and ingots all in one chest, because these take a while to build up, so this room will last a good amount of time. You should be good with just this chest for these. Now, coal, since, sorry, this is a spoiler. Cover your ears if you don't want to hear about something you can get later in game. At Kristoff's stall, you can buy. So I recommend buying enough to almost fill a chest and leaving enough room for when you're gathering just to toss a few extra in here. Same for stone. Give it its own whole chest. And then when we get to things like clay and pebbles, I recommend putting them all in the same chest with like snowballs, sand, and soil, because you don't have a ton of these, so this chest should last a while. The only downside is sand and soil are too big and don't sit properly on top of a table to look good. Same kind of with this snowball, so I just kind of stuck them all in here, and I can remember that I put them there. Now, when you get to items that are refined, I recommend giving yourself a chest for these. Now, if you're aware of the Christoph stall, once it's upgraded, you can get glass and brick there. You can also craft these, so I stuck them in the refined chest. I stuck my vials here and tinkering parts. Helpful tip on tinkering parts: if you don't want to waste your iron putting those to crafting those, go over to Wally's realm and occasionally gather there, and you will get tinkering parts. So that'll save you some iron, or since you have to do a lot of gathering for iron or considering the quest. Now, this one, I went ahead and I did rope and fiber. Fiber as well, you can get Christoph stall, so I gave this one its own storage chest, or storage safe rather, so I would be able to fill that up as much as I want and not have to worry so much about gathering this in the future. And same with fabric. I do also stick cotton in here with my fabric. It would not fit on the table with the fabric roll, so I just kind of put it all in here, and we can remember that fabric, cotton kind of go together. Now, when you get over to the sticks, your softwood, I swear it's easy to walk around here, guys. Your softwood takes up a lot of space. You will get a ton of this. Give it its own chest. Same with your hardwood. Eventually, it really starts taking up some space. I know that your drywood does not yet, but let's be hopeful and give it its own chest, you know? And the same with darkwood. I've only got one stack, but I sure do want to fill this box, so I gave it its own, and also they kind of look nice all together on the top of the counters. So let's move on to vegetable tips for storage. I highly recommend for this one to have one chest or safe being your mostly green vegetables. That way, when you're just going through, you know, hey, this chest, if it's green, I'm tossing it in here. Super easy to organize, and it leaves you some extra space for the future. For your next chest, I went ahead and did these as more above ground vegetables. I know it's not the most accurate or more colorful above ground vegetables. I just stuck my bell peppers, tomatoes, eggplants, and corn in here so I could have multiple stacks of each. Now for the next one, I was trying to do root vegetables, but you know, we got some carrots in here. We normally will have some potatoes, but I used all of them. I stuck my pumpkins and my mushrooms and my onions in here as well. It kind of ended up being more of the beige orange vegetable chest, but it works. And this one is mostly grains, so wheat, rice. I stuck canola in here because I didn't have a really good chest to put it in, and it kind of looks good in the counter together. So that solves our veggies. Now, let's go on to our fish situation. I highly recommend for fish to give yourself 2 chests or safes. Now, with these, I did freshwater fish in this one. So, basically, most of these you get away from the ocean. But anything that says freshwater, cold water, I stuck them all in here. Gives us a few extra slots to work with for the future as well. And then I did seafood and saltwater fish. So things like your lobster, crab, clams, kingfish, squid. It gives you a lot of room to work with, and again, it gives you a couple extra space for the future. Now for fruit. Basically for fruits, I did 2 chests, and my first one was non-berry fruits. So anything that's not a berry, it goes in here. It gives you plenty of room for gathering. I would say once you get past 2 stacks, probably just don't keep it because you don't need more than that. And berries, I gave them their own chests because one of my favorite foods for endgame is making berry salads. So I wanted them to be able to have as many stacks as possible of each type of berry. Now, let's move on to our seasonings. Basically, what I did for seasonings is I did put our naturally gathered, naturally spawning crops here, so like mint, basil, oregano, garlic, and ginger. I did also go ahead and toss in chili pepper here because to me that's a seasoning. I know the game classifies it as a vegetable, but easy to fit it here, and it makes it to where we have enough room in this chest to store multiple stacks. Now the next one I did was for cocoa, sugarcane, and vanilla. Basically our baking add-ins. I wanted these to have their own chest so we could have multiple stacks. Also, they kind of look good together on top of that counter. And I did a safe all for Remy ingredients. Now, I know there's more Remy ingredients than milk, cheese, butter, and eggs, but if you put them all in here, you know when you're looking at the top of that, you see milk, cheese, butter, eggs. That's iconic Remy ingredients. So it should be, or at least it helps me remember that my slush ice and peanuts are in here as well. And just in case they release any future Remy ingredients, which who knows, we'll see what they do. And then I did a baked goods, cooked foods chest. I put some of my favorite foods on there, the berry salad, the souffle because it's iconic for making money, and that birthday cake I just thought was beautiful. And as you can see, I don't have much food in here currently because I've only been making berry salads. Now, another tip for you is if you want to rearrange your safe room, you can move. Let me show you real quick. There we go. You can move. Sorry, that's my chandelier. Let's not move that. There we go. You can move a safe and the items in it within the same room. And you can move a table with the items on it within the same room. And you're not going to have to take these things off and redo it. So that is helpful. And in the end, the most important tip I have for you is organize in a way that you can remember. Make the theme your own. Make it a room you're going to be happy to be in, because if you're going to have all your storage here and your crafting table and your cooking, you might spend a little bit of time in here. So make it a room that makes you happy. And I hope this was a helpful video for you and that you're able to create your own ultimate storage room. But if you have any questions or information on what you did that you think is better or different, let me know in the comments. And if you liked this video, like, subscribe, come back for future videos. I'm going to try to post more. And thanks for making it through this video with me. Hope you guys have a wonderful day and have fun playing Dreamlight Valley.